Hello, everyone. This presentation will discuss the updates and enhancements to NOAA's new hydrographic survey specifications. My co-authors on this project are Tyanne Faulkes from the Pacific Hydrographic Branch of the NOAA Office of Coast Survey and Dr. Giuseppe Masetti from the Center for Coastal and Ocean Mapping and Joint Hydrographic Center at the University of New Hampshire. First, let us discuss the current status of NOAA's hydrographic survey specifications, which we also call HSSD. I'll say that many times during this presentation. In the couple of years prior to 2024, we had a project to overhaul the HSSD, which was the largest overhaul in more than 20 years. The first published version of the revamped HSSD was in April of last year, and our NOAA field units were referencing the new specifications for their field season last year. All of our contractors are currently referencing the new specifications for the first time this field season. So what are the foundational components that guided the development of the new HSSD? We seek to achieve rapid and standardized data qualification through the use of standardized S100-based metadata attributes, and also to achieve rapid and streamlined data handling through the application of universal data licenses for all ingested hydrographic data. The HSSD was written to best facilitate the application of tools for automated compliance, again, for that rapid data qualification and throughput. It was also written to best integrate with the National Bathymetric Source, or NBS. This is our compilation of best available bathymetry for our use in navigational products and services. Lastly, the HSSD was written to be more readily usable for our external data providers looking to contribute their data to us, which we definitely encourage. So we anticipated a lot of feedback once the new specifications were in use. So we established a committee to be responsible for the ongoing support and maintenance of the HSSD. The HSSD has a rapid release capability from the platform used to maintain it. This offers one-click outputs to PDF and HTML just from simple text editors. So whereas traditionally we updated this document once a year, now we can do so on an as-needed basis and potentially mid-season. As I just mentioned, there are multiple formats available, a PDF, of course, but it's also available online and as a portable HTML for folks who may not have a reliable internet connection. The current version is version 2025, which was released in January of this year. I mentioned that our HSSD is available online. It's on our website right now. You can go there and surf it. There's a QR code to take you there. Okay, our new HSSD has had almost a full year of use from our NOAA field units. So how did it go? It was actually put to the test right away and sooner than we planned for when the Francis Scott Key Bridge collapse occurred in the Baltimore approaches on March 26, 2024. NOAA's navigation response team and navigation manager were on site right away conducting survey, and then our hydrographic branches rapidly qualified the data, and the National Bathymetric Source ingested and provided the updated bathymetry to our charting division, who pushed out the new products, and that all happened in just a few days. I'm really proud to say. Also in 2024, there was a large learning curve with our new quality metrics in the specs. These are the values we use to populate the S100-based metadata attributes in order to define quality in terms of coverage, features, and uncertainty. These attributes are not very intuitive to learn. We think, of course, it'll get easier. Ultimately, it'll be very beneficial for everyone to have a common vocabulary based on these S100-based attributes. In our old specifications, there was just one uncertainty criteria to keep in mind to try to meet. That was based on IHO Order 1A. Now we have a full spectrum of uncertainty criteria with 6 options, and the field unit must document the level that they achieved. And in most cases, that exceeds what they were required to do. So that's a level of awareness and knowledge that our surveyors must have. There were drastic changes to our reporting requirements, which I might even say caused a bit of shock for some folks. The reporting requirements are very minimal. The idea is to let the data and the metadata speak for itself. If you're writing any kind of prose, it's because it is something not easily inferred from the data. We're going to come back to this topic in a later slide. The new HSSD has new formats for deliverables, such as bags for all grid submissions, which has replaced any proprietary formats we've used previously. We intend to replace our S57 format deliverable with GeoPackage for the feature transfer. That's for various reasons. I'm going to talk about that later too. GeoJSON formats for survey outlines is another one. I'd mentioned the HSSD committee already. So this group was formed to provide support for users referencing the new specs for the first time. They handle the incoming questions, suggestions, and change requests, and they publish new versions accordingly. This is our ticket form on the right side. As of January, we had received 74 tickets, though there is much more than that now. 54 of those we had processed at the time. 39 of those tickets resulted in updates to the HSSD. So this is very much a community effort. We release new versions annually at minimum. Though as I've stated previously, we have the capability to release new versions rapidly and as needed, even mid-season. Okay, now I will speak more about the metadata focus of our new specifications. Again, it is the IHO S100 based metadata attributes with values defined by our new NOAA quality metrics. We use this framework from start to finish in the workflow. The metrics are shown in our specifications. They're delivered in project instructions. They are documented in survey reports, and these define data quality in the final bathymetric compilation. So these terms define data quality in terms of coverage, features, and uncertainty, and they're critically important because they determine our national bathymetry. To help our users with the metadata entry, we added a new appendix in the HSSD. It's called the Metadata Attribution Guide. This informs the metadata entry, especially for new users who aren't familiar with the terms yet. And the metadata is both grid and survey specific. Now I will discuss QC tools. This is the tool set we use to automate the compliance of the HSSD to our survey data. We've been doing this for 10 years now, since 2015. And this project is a long-time collaboration between Coast Survey and the Center for Coastal and Ocean Mapping and Joint Hydrographic Center at the University of New Hampshire. The team is composed of Dr. Giuseppe Masetti from CCOM as the lead developer, and then my colleague in Coast Survey, Tyanne Faulkes, and I. QC Tools first, it came from the field. It originated from the field, from people who were tired of tedious and monotonous processes. So from the very beginning, it has been built based on this feedback and ideas from the field. So it's very organic in that sense. In April of last year, which coincided with the first release of our new HSSD, we also released QC Tools 4. This was a major version release that is compatible with our new specifications. So you can set the new NOAA quality metrics in the user parameters of QC Tools. Here's a list of all the QC Tools functions on the left. The inputs to QC Tools are shown in the middle. It ingests bathymetric grids, feature files, and a folder structure. It verifies their accuracy, completeness, and adherence to our specifications. On the right side is all the sections of the HSSD that is either fully or partially automated in QC Tools. It's a long list. It covers much of the grid, point cloud, and features and delivery structure sections of the HSSD. We like the mantra that if you cannot build an automated tool to check compliance with the spec, then the spec is not properly defined. That definitely guided how we developed the new HSSD. Okay, now let's talk about bag requirements. On the right side, you see a picture there. That's our national bathymetric source, a compilation of all our best available bathymetry. It's colored by source, and all the sources are stitched together per our supersession rules. Bags have very strict criteria to go into this model. They need to have all the fundamental bag elements, such as metadata, elevation, uncertainty, and a tracking list. The metadata is scanned for proper encoding of the coordinate reference system, and there are a lot of ways that this can go wrong, we found out. Our bags must have survey start and end dates. This is critical for the temporal component of the MBS supersession rules. Nodes must be populated with both an elevation and uncertainty value, and uncertainty can't be negative, nor can it be erroneously high. Finally, there are some compatibility checks with GDAL to ensure downstream usability for our customers. That leads us to the QC Tools function bag checks, which accomplishes everything I just mentioned on the last slide. There's an NBS profile a user can select, which will check for all of the NBS requirements. And where there are particular nodes that have issues identified, a GIS layer is printed out to flag the troublesome nodes so they can be mitigated. There's also a general profile which checks more basically per the bag specification. So please see our online manual for a full list of checks. It's a long list that includes support for variable resolution bag services as well. Here are some more changes to our reporting that occurred in 2024. Due to popular demand, we added a PDF printout of the report for a human readable version of our metadata. We added a personnel roster so that survey parties can acknowledge all the staff who contributed to a survey. There were new XML forms as well. They needed updating due to spec changes. That includes our project instructions and data review forms. To coincide with the publishing of the 2025 HSSD, we also released a new XML schema that is compatible. So thanks very much to my colleague Toshi Wazumi from the Office of Coast Survey, who is the lead developer in those efforts. There's a PDF printout of the XML. Okay, I will finish my presentation with two ongoing topics in 2025 that we are working towards developing solutions for. The first item is concerning our reporting requirements. This has been very divisive between people who prefer the traditional narrative approach of a descriptive report versus the modern method of a more automated XML metadata form. So do we have to pick one or the other, or could we have both? That's what we're trying to figure out. We definitely need the XML metadata form. It contains the survey metadata, and we could just add to it our CRS metadata as WKT strings, our survey outline in the GeoJSON format. Those are currently separate deliverables, but we could combine all those in an automated way. But there are a lot of people who really prefer this PDF, the human readable report. And it can contain images and narrative information, but all those things take a lot of time and effort to create. So do we want to spend that time and effort? Is it worth it? What is the proper balance? This is what we're working on right now. Another ongoing topic is concerning how we are delivering features. We are usually working and delivering in NAD83 coordinate reference system, which means that delivering features in the S57 format is a problem because that's hard-coded as WGS84 per the international specification. We've introduced a GeoPackage format. It's open source. It has a flexible coordinate reference system, so we can properly attribute the CRS, and it supports all the feature attribution that we need. We want to encourage adoption of this GeoPackage format for features and build compatibility for this format into our tool set. For example, into QC tools and many other tools that we use. Thanks very much to Stephen Patterson of the NOAA Hydrographic Systems and Technology branch as the lead developer in this work. Okay, that was my last slide, so thank you very much for your attention.